Day we are together again. On the day we are together again, I will pull you in close like a hoop with no end. On the day we are together again, we will share the same table again. We will share the same table again. I will pass you the salt, the candlelight will bend when we share the same table again. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will stop for a snack at the taco truck stand when we walk around the block hand in hand. Someday we will go back to work. Someday we will go back to work. May we be among people who respect our work. Someday we will go back to work. I will write you a letter for now. I will write you a letter for now. Hope is a message that survives somehow. I will write you a letter for now. I will help the strangers I meet. I will help the strangers I meet. It is possible to get back on our feet. I will help the strangers I meet. To the healers who keep us alive. To the healers who keep us alive. A toast to your courage, knowledge and light. To the healers who keep us alive. And the ones we love who are gone. And the ones we love who are gone. We remember the stories and we sing the songs for the ones we love who are gone. And on the day we are together.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. Today is January 21st, 2024, and it is 6:02 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you all so much for joining me. It's good to see you all in chat. Fun says, thank you. Only 18 months with Justin feels like years, and that's a good thing. Love you, Justin. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Fun size. It means a lot. Thank you all. Appreciate you. We have a guest today. We have Stacy Wondra. He's decided to come to do an interview with us, and we appreciate it. The only thing we ask in chat is to keep your comments respectful. You guys always keep it classy here. I know that we don't always have to agree. I just ask that you keep your question uh, respectful. Like it can be a hard question. I'm not saying that, but just keep it. Just keep it classy. You guys always do a good job. So without further ado, um, I am going to bring up Stacy, and we'll get started. Thank you all. Hey, Stacy, how are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. How are you?
Good, good, good. Thank you, Stacy, for being here today. Um, I've only got to talk to you. I just talked to you today for the first time, actually. Was talking with our friend Brooks. So thank you for coming on. This is, I know, been a topic of your life for sure since, July 2021.
Mhm.
And, I've saw some interviews that you've done on the news locally there, and you say you want to be honest and clear your name, and that's great. I appreciate your time. What tell me a little bit about who Stacy is. Where did you grow up? How did you grow up? Where did all of the above? Tell me a little bit first about that.
Briefly, I was born in Merced, California.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, my biological parents are deceased. My mom died in May 2003. My
Hmm.
dad died before I was born of a drug overdose. Same with my mom. Um, I grew up. I was adopted, or my mom got guardianship of me. I guess adoption and guardianship are two different things. Can't really explain the two. I'm not sure how to, but I know that I was adopted or had guardianship. My mom got guardianship of me that I have now. So I'm in constant communication with her every day. She supports me, the best way she can, mentally, emotionally.
And this is your bio mother?
No, biological mom died. This is my
Okay.
adopted mom.
Okay. Okay. And when did she adopt you? Like what
I
age?
was 13 months old, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So she's your mother.
Mhm. Correct.
Right.
She's all I've known my whole life.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And you was adopted. Okay.
Mhm.
Was your mom and were they related of any sort, or was this just a different adoption? Okay. Um, do you know anything about like your real mom or anything?
I know she was a very hardcore drug addict. She was homeless a lot. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
had different
Okay.
kids with different different dudes.
Yeah. You ever thought about doing one of those, what is it, like 23andMe's or family? You might have a lot of siblings out there you not know.
Well, I know my who my siblings are, but I don't
Yeah,
know much. I don't really talk. I don't talk to them at all.
right, right. And how did you end up in Idaho?
Sarah, my,
Oh, okay,
my
okay,
wife that I got married to,
okay. And so when did you meet Sarah?
November of 2017.
Okay, November 2017. Um, did you meet her online?
Live links. It was a chat line.
Live links? Okay. Is that still around?
Oh yeah.
Is it? Okay. I've never heard of it, so I don't know. Is it like a dating or just a social?
Well, it's a dating. It's mainly for people go to hook up or find
Right. Okay. And
relationships or looking for love or whatever.
gotcha. Now, is Sarah from Idaho?
We grew up in Portland.
She grew up in Portland. Okay, so her
Mhm.
family is in Portland.
No, her family. She only some of her family is in Oregon, but that's her adoptive side of the family. And then her mom and dad, adoptive mom and dad, lived in Fruitland, Idaho. They were actually the owners of the house on Red Wing Street.
Right. Right. Okay, that's right. That's right. I forgot about
Mhm.
that. Okay. All right. Okay. How was school growing up? Like how
Rough.
rough? Rough. Okay. Um,
I was in
did
special ed my whole life, so
right. Okay. That's okay. And did you graduate?
I
No.
made it to 11th grade, and then I started.
Oh, I don't
Where'd you
know
go?
if there
There
we
we
go.
go.
Sorry, got a little disconnection there.
I made it to 2009, and then I transferred to another group home, and I was all over. I don't want to go into it, but
Right,
I've been to like 5 or 6 different group homes.
right. I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. All right. So tell me about the morning of July 27th.
It was just a normal day for us. We woke up. It was Brandon, Sarah, Adrian, and I that were at the house. Woke up in the morning and got up, had breakfast, had coffee. Just we're talking, socializing. And then
Mhm.
uh, Adrian had wanted to go see his kid that was in Nampa or Boise. I'm not exactly sure.
When did Adrian come in the picture? How long was he at your
A couple
place?
of months.
A couple months? Okay. Okay. Um now Brandon, he said that he thought Adrian was there like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
No, no.
Okay. So there's a discrepancy there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And he flew in from California.
I don't know where he was picked up. My wife picked him up in Caldwell. He said that, my wife said that he told her that, um, or ex-wife, he should say, soon to be, told her that he was living behind a dumpster in Caldwell,
Caldwell.
Idaho. Yes.
Okay, okay. Behind a dumpster. Okay. All right. Okay. Um all right, so go ahead. Continue with the story, sir.
It's all good. Um, that morning we got up, did our routine normally. Breakfast, coffee, shit, shower, whatever, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Then Adrian had asked Sarah to take him to Nampa or Boise, wherever it was, to go see his kid. And that was about 11 o'clock. They left. I
Mhm.
got a phone call from Sarah. No, that
So,
was probably 10:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30. They left. I
so
got a phone call from Sarah.
sorry. So Adrian has a kid in
I
Idaho.
think he has a couple, but
A
yeah,
couple. Okay. Okay. I need to turn this damn phone down. Go ahead.
it's okay. Sounds
All
like
right.
you're on scout or meet me.
No, I'm not, I promise. Okay, sorry. I don't, it's just loud as hell.
It's
All right,
okay.
go.
So um, Sarah took Brandon and Adrian. They all went together. I stayed home. I didn't really wasn't too fond of Adrian, just for the record. Like I wasn't keen on him.
Mhm.
And I told Sarah that when she approached me and asked if she could we could help him out with a place to live. And I'll go into that a little bit. But so anyway, so they went and she took him to go see his kid. I got a phone call about 11:30 from Sarah because she was the dispatcher for our company and said that there was a taxi ride that needed to go from Ontario to Boise. I was like, okay, that's $150 run. I'm not going to pass it up.
And what time was this?
I left. That was 11 o'clock. She called me roughly, and then I left the house about 1
Mhm.
in the afternoon.
Do you have any receipts or anything of the calls, the call logs or anything
Oh
that day?
no, those phone numbers are long gone, long
Okay.
gone.
Okay.
I'm sure we did, but yeah,
Okay.
um, there's no way I can pull that.
Right. I'm
I'd
sure.
love to. I'd love to.
Yeah. Adrian is not the one who went on JLRs.
No,
That
Brandon did.
that was Brandon
Mhm.
who went on JLRs. Now uh Adrian is currently living in DC area.
According to Brooks, yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
Agent. I don't want nothing to do with him, nor do I, Brandon.
I've been emailing with him, so yeah. So we got him now. All right.
Nice.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sorry.
You're good. So that's literally how the day started. Sarah took Brandon and Adrian. They all went together to Nampa or Boise to go see his kid, and um, I stayed home, got the taxi phone call. I left about 1 o'clock. I stopped at the splash pad about 1:15, 1:30 ish.
Okay.
I don't know. It was in between 1:10, 1:15, 1:30 ish. I don't know exactly. It's so long ago, but um,
Now, why did
stopped.
you stop at the splash pad?
So I went to. I'm a Big Dipper.
Hmm.
A Big Dipper.
Right.
So I went to pull up my can of chew from my pocket.
Hmm.
It had fallen. I didn't apparently have a grip on it enough, and it fell on the passenger side, like up against the floorboard on the far side. And I couldn't reach it.
Hmm.
And I was really big at the time, like a lot bigger than what I was
Hmm.
now, what I am now. So I couldn't just reach over the console to grab it. So I literally had to get out of the car to get it. So I did that, walked around the vehicle, opened the door, grabbed my chew, walked out, or walked back around, got in the car and left.
Okay. And that was at what time?
Give or, give or take 1:30 ish when I left.
Okay. And that was on your way to Boise,
On my way to Ontario to go
on
to Boise to pick up
Ontario
my
to
car.
Boise. Okay.
Correct.
How far is Ontario?
Like a 10-minute drive. You just go
Okay.
over the bridge and you're there.
Okay. And Boise's what? 30 minutes?
60 miles, about an
So
hour.
an hour, give or take. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And who was you? Was it just? Did you just do
I think
one?
so. There might have been another taxi ride, but I know that it was because the timestamps that I sent you, I'm sure you'll post them up.
Yep.
Um, there's time differences, so when I quote times on here, you guys have to forgive me because I'm not verbatim. Like I told you, um, I'm doing the best hypothetical guess of time, so please
Hmm.
forgive me if they're not accurate.
Okay. But a general
Yes,
is
general. There was probably I think there was only one taxi call that day for me. From
okay.
when I got back, there might have been another one. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
don't remember. I
Okay.
know for sure there was one that was Ontario to Boise.
Did you keep any logs or anything for your
We
business?
we kept cash logs or
Right.
payment logs, but only when people paid with card, and that was through our payment app that we
Right.
use.
Okay. Okay. Um, when you walked around, did when you dropped the chew, did you get out and walk like around
Yeah.
the car?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, honey, older I did.
Okay. Okay. Now, how long was you at the splash pad?
Maybe like 5 minutes tops.
5 minute stops. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The police actually showed me a timestamp at 1:30 of me being at the splash pad. So
Okay.
that's why I'm
So
saying 1:30. I was there for sure
okay. So they have you there. All right.
on video. Yeah.
And they have you solely going around the
Correct.
car,
And getting back
grabbing that
into it.
snuff, and then getting
And
back in
then,
your car.
correct.
Okay. Was there anyone around the splash
I
pad
think
at
there
the
was
time?
people around, but they were in a far enough distance. I didn't approach anybody. You know what I mean? Like I literally I mean, as it was recorded by the camera,
Right.
got out and then got my shoe, went back around the car and left. That's all
Right.
it was.
Okay. Did you ever stop at the splash pad often,
No,
or just it was just to get your snuff, you
there's no
say? Okay.
reason to go to the splash pad. I ain't got kids,
Right.
so why would I want
Okay.
to be?
o-
Why would I want to do that? It'd be kind of weird.
Okay. Right. All right. So the detectives and the authorities, they have you on camera or a
Correct.
photo of some
Correct.
sort. Okay. And is there surveillance?
Yeah.
There obviously
There's
is
neighborhood
somewhere,
watch. Yeah.
but does like the splash pad have cameras, or a home of some sort, I guess, around there would have it? Okay. All right. Continue. Oh,
Um,
okay. What were you wearing do you remember what you were wearing that day?
Probably my black champion shorts that I used to have and a t-shirt, black t-shirt.
Okay.
That's what I usually wore. I was the most comfortable in.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you're on your way to The 10, not Boise, but the other one. What's the
Ontario.
Ontario? Remember Ontario, Canada, but Ontario,
Ontario,
just
Oregon.
okay. Ontario, Oregon. Yeah, because you're right there on the border. That's right.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went and picked up the client, went to the Boise airport, dropped him off. I think I hung out with Labor Dave, if I'm not mistaken. I went and visited him at his house.
Who's Labor Dave?
He's a like a temporary employment person. Always had a bunch of odd jobs for people to do. Christian based. His
Okay,
his his real name is David Fears.
Piers with a P.
Fear. F as an F.
Okay, all right, and so he's some of your alibi at that point,
Mhm.
which Michael hadn't even went missing yet at this point.
No.
So, but still, I'm just saying. Okay, all right. So how long do you hang out with David?
Uh, I don't know, a few minutes. You know what I mean? It was a good chunk. Of probably 15, 20, 30 minutes tops.
Okay,
It
okay.
wasn't very long. I mean, he had stuff he was doing too. So
Do you talk to him often?
I don't talk to him anymore. From what I heard, he's deceased. So I don't know
Oh,
if that's true
oh,
or not.
that's a yeah. Okay, it's hard to talk to someone like that for sure. Um, all right. So you're there 30 minutes tops. Okay.
So on leaving David, I came straight home or came back to the Fruitland area. Apparently, the timestamps, I didn't remember this, but I went to Ontario again to go. I stopped at A&W,
Mm-hmm.
or sorry, yeah, A&W, which is um, by Kiwanis Park or whatever in Ontario. Went there, got some food, I think, and went back to Fruitland.
Okay. So you go from Fruitland to Ontario to Boise back to
Ontario to home
Ontario to home. What? Now, why did you go back to Ontario?
to get some food.
Okay.
There's an A&W in Fruitland, but that was the direction I came back.
It's on the
It was
way.
too, yeah, it was on A&W on the way,
Mm-hmm.
but you could see it from the interstate and it was completely packed, and I didn't feel like going inside from what I
Okay.
remember.
All right. Um, where is Sarah,
At home.
Adrian, and everyone at this time?
Sarah or Adrian, like according to timestamps again, according to what Brooke showed on the photo, again, timing can be off. So apparently, what the timestamp it was for something when they took that photo, A&W or the Applebee's.
Mm-hmm.
So I was all I know is they were home when I got home. So
Okay. Okay. So they were, and earlier that day, they were,
Adrian didn't come back though that night. Just for the record, he stayed over in Namper.
so Adrian did not come back the night
Correct.
Michael went missing.
Correct.
Okay. 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 Now, on July 27th, uh, now this is Brandon's account. Brandon says he spends the night.
Yeah. He
Okay.
stayed the night a lot at our house.
Okay. All right. All right. So you come back after you get your A&W and your ride. You did one, maybe
Mhm.
two rides.
Correct. Which I think
Uh,
is probably the other reason I went to Ontario too. Just putting that out there.
say that again.
I think maybe the other reason I went to Ontario too wasn't just for food, but it was to go pick up that ride.
Okay. So there. Okay, another ride. Okay. Um, why did you guys always have a bunch of people in your house? Just
There
curious.
wasn't a bunch of people in the house. People make that excessive. They're literally, we had people come in sometimes who were just friends of friends or friends of ours, or, I think one point in time we let Brandon bring his buddy over and his buddy's friend, but there wasn't an excessive amount of traffic like people make it.
Okay.
We didn't allow that in our house. We did have a heart. We did help people with a place to stay once in a while who
Mm-hmm.
were trying to get on their feet because that's what, as Christian believers, we, try to help people who are in need,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's what we did.
Right.
Um, but there wasn't a huge amount of traffic like people say there was. No.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure if it was like cheaper labor, or something like that. I mean, you
No.
you're staying at our house, can you help out cheap, or
No.
whatever, and help you get you on your feet or something like that. Okay. All right. So you come back home
Hmm.
and
Brandon and
what
Sarah are on the couch.
and who's on the couch?
Brandon and Sarah.
Brandon and Sarah are on the couch together.
No, not together. They were on different couches, but they were
Okay.
both on their phones when I walked in.
Okay. They're on their phone when you walk in. Okay. Now what else?
I was approached by Brandon and Sarah saying that, Sarah talked to me first and was like, hey, uh, Brandon wants to go get his car from Cuna.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, let's just get it over with because Brendan had been pestering us a lot about getting his car. Like, it wasn't just one time he asked, it had been probably a couple weeks worth of asking.
He'd been harping on you.
Hmm.
Okay. What time was this approximately?
Uh, Timestamps, again, I'm referring back to the timestamps because I literally just found them yesterday. I got back into my email account and my pictures from that year last night, literally. Thanks to Eve, who is also viewing, I believe. Um, she helped me recover that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was able to get into that, and that's how I got those photos that you'll pull up eventually, with the timestamp attached.
Okay.
So I'd say it's gonna sound stupid, but going back to the timestamps, I would say 6:30 or 7 is when we left.
When you left. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So you leave at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. And you guys are making a trip from Fruitland
Correct.
to
Cuna.
Cuna. How do you spell Cuna?
Kuna.
Kuna. Okay. That sounds like Hawaiian almost. Sounds
It
Hawaiian.
kind of does, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I got Hawaiian.
You do?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Um, let's see here. So Fruitland, Idaho to Cuna, Kuna.
45-minute drive usually. Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, 48 minutes.
Hmm.
48 minutes it says from,
I know.
and
I know my miles. I know
yeah,
my destinations.
well, taxi driver, you probably
Hmm.
probably. Um, so did you guys take 84?
Yes.
Okay.
84 to exit. I want to say 46 or 48. It was 10-mile road. It might have been
Okay.
42. I know it was 10-mile exit that we took.
10 exit, you mean like exit number 10? Oh, 10
No,
10
exit
mile road?
10-mile road, correct.
Gotcha.
There's
Okay.
an exit for 10-mile road, correct.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, because you can do I-84 east
Mm-hmm.
and then south 10-mile road,
Correct.
where it says you can do I-84 east, Idaho 69
Yep.
is the second, but the fastest is I-84 east.
To 10
Uh,
mile. Correct.
yes. Um, just looking here. You're gonna turn onto Whitley Drive,
Mm-hmm.
3.3 miles, and then turn left 0.2 miles to I-84
I-84
east
east.
toward
Yep.
Boise, Caldwell,
Correct.
merge on I-84 east, and then
Mm-hmm.
exit 42, which I don't know where exactly in Cuna you were. Now, why was this
I
car
can
in
give you his
Cuna?
address if you want to pinpoint that. from our house to his, so you can
Sure.
see. His address was 2518
One second. One second. 2518. Go ahead.
Snowbell, Snowwbell, I believe,
Got it.
Road.
Is it north? It's probably North Snowbell.
Hmm. There's
Okay.
only one Snowbell.
Okay. And your old address, I got it here.
1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland.
Okay. It's 49 minutes.
Yep.
All right. So you're going to do, here, I'll show you here, just so we can be clear. So you're going to go 1102 Red Wing Street,
Hmm.
and then, we're just South Meadows Avenue, turn immediately onto 8th Street. So
Yep.
then you're going to turn right onto US 95 South,
95 South. Yep. Turn left on
2.6.
I-84 East. Yep.
Yes.
You're
Okay.
gonna merge. Yep.
Yep. 38 miles on I-84,
Yep.
and you're going to exit 42,
Correct.
turn right onto South
10
10
mile road.
Mile Road, and then take a roundabout
Yep.
at exit, the second exit.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, is this where he lived at?
This is where Brandon's mom lived. Correct.
Okay, this is Brandon's mom. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to make it clear for everyone, like in the chat, you don't
Absolutely.
know. So that's why I'm really explaining things. Um, okay, so what kind of car were you driving that day?
I was driving a 2005 GMC Sierra 1500 HD. It was a burgundy red.
Burgundy red. Okay. And you said it was a 2005?
Mm-hmm. A four door.
Um, okay. Now you go to the house, and what happens?
Brandon brought a duffel bag full of his clothes. I can verify that it was literally full of clothes because it was empty when he brought it on the couch from the side of the couch. And I watched him put all of his dirty clothes inside the duffel bag.
So there was a duffel bag
A black one, correct.
at your house.
Yes. That was his.
Uh-huh. How big is the duffel bag?
It's small. It's a medium to small duffel bag. It's not big at all. It's not like a huge one. It's got the handles that Velcro together and it's got a strap that goes over your shoulder.
Mhm. Okay. All right. And he takes this duffel bag with him on the trip.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Brings the duffel bag into the house.
he
Uh,
rides with you
yeah,
and Sarah there,
right.
right? Do you remember?
Sarah was driving. I was in the passenger seat. He was in the seat behind me.
Okay. Do you remember the conversation on the way on there?
I play a lot of music. I mainly DJ. I don't um, do a whole lot of conversing because I like to listen to music. I'm a
Mhm.
huge music nerd, so
Okay.
there
But
wasn't a lot of conversation.
Sarah wasn't bitching about
Uh,
something. She's bloated, she's gassy, anything, nothing? I mean,
no.
nothing. Okay. Okay. All right. So you're on your way, and how long are you uh what do you do at the house once you arrive there? You hook up the car, and
Mhm.
what else? What else is going on at the house?
That's it. Brandon had to go through the side gate entrance on the right side of his house because his mom has surveillance, like a Ring doorbell that has audio video set up
Mm-hmm.
that'll pick up detection of movement or whatever. So we parked just enough in front of his car so I could push his car out of the driveway and get the tow strap out of the truck to go connect to his car. And while in the process of me doing that, he was in the house washing his clothes.
Okay. What's wrong with his car?
He blew the spark plugs out of the cylinders.
He broke the spark plugs. Okay.
Blue, yeah. He drove a Mercedes, and I don't know if anybody knows much about Mercedes, but they're pieces of shit.
Okay.
I'll never drive one.
Okay. And so why didn't he just get new spark plugs?
Because you can't. They had to be rethreaded. The holes had to be rethreaded. He literally blew the spark plug out of the hole.
Oh,
The
wow.
threads. He blew the threads. Correct.
Okay. Okay. And how long are y'all at this house?
30 minutes tops.
Well, you can't wash and dry your clothes for 30
He
minutes.
didn't dry his clothes. He washed them and left them in the dryer washer, and then they went back the next day.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
So he throws him in the washer. Okay. And you're driving this car back, or
No,
you're
he's driving. He's
towing
steering
it?
the car. Sarah was towing it. I was in the passenger seat. Sarah wanted to learn how to tow a car.
So she's doing this.
Correct.
Okay. Now, how did you go back?
We went back to 10 Mile, I believe, which turns into, if you pull up the maps real quick, you can see where I went. But if you type in Idaho 16 from Cuna, Idaho, from his house to Idaho 16, we literally, I believe, took 10 Mile, or it was Eagle Road, one of the two, but we took 10 Mile all the way onto Idaho 16. Idaho 16 then drops into Highway 52. Highway 52 drops into Payette, Idaho. And then you take a left off of, when you enter Payette, off of Idaho or Highway 52, and that takes you straight to Fruitland.
Okay. I need some more detail to this. All right, so that's 16 East Idaho. All right,
No,
so
you don't want 16 East Idaho. You want to go from his house, not my house.
oh, okay. Shit. What was his
Type in
address?
11 or type in 2518.
Huh?
Just East Snowbell, or just type in Snowbell Road. Sorry, not East.
There we
Right there. Yep, Cuna.
Okay.
And then type in ID 16. Yep.
Would that be Meridian or
Yep.
okay.
And you'll see the direction we took.
Okay. So y'all go motherfuck. Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. We all swear.
I just messed this completely up.
It's okay.
Hold on, let me try this. All right. So did you guys take, you take 80, you don't take 84, do you? You take this
That
way, right?
address is not correct on it's not 186 West Hannikin Street. 2518
Why
is
is it
his
doing
house
that?
address.
2518 Snowbell.
Yeah. There you go.
Um
On the
what's
bottom
the
there, the red
is it
Snowbell Road. It's 2518. It's right there. It's on your history. Look where. There you go.
oh,
Yep.
there we go. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you're going this way, and which
Correct.
road do you take?
Nope, the one where the blue line is. It's exactly where we followed.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you take 10 Mile Road.
Correct.
Okay. So there's 1,000 stoplights through here, right?
Yep.
All right. So they would have you guys on here for sure.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And have they
Yeah.
told you that they've, that you can share with us? I mean, there's some things you probably can't share, but have they told you that they've seen y'all, towing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, not towing, but I mean, if you pull up the map that I sent you, the screenshots, you'll
Okay.
be able to explain that to people while
Okay.
while I'm here.
All right, let's pop this up. All right. So Stacy has some receipts today. He did bring some receipts. Um. All right. Is this the map?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, all right. You want to go ahead and.
Yeah. So basically, that map right there, where the red dot is,
Mm-hmm.
that's where Sarah and me and Brandon pulled off because when Sarah, so with towing, if anybody knows anything about tow straps, you have to keep tension on the rope on the tow strap, otherwise you'll end up snapping it, which Sarah failed to do. And I told her, I was like, look, you got to keep tension, and whenever you take off, you got to ease when you take off from a stoplight or wherever. You can't just gun it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
she gunned it. The truck had a lot of power too, so I mean I can kind of see that, but that's what happened is she gunned it and snapped the tow strap in half. So
Okay.
that red dot is where we pulled up, and if you zoom in on that dot, I don't know if you can, but um, literally, like it'll show where we pulled off at on the side of the road, that's Idaho 16. Now, after we stopped, Sarah, I got out because I had to reattach the tow strap. I had to double knot it, which shortened the tow strap quite a bit, but it worked for the due diligence of the rest of the trip. Sarah did get out of the truck because she had to use the bathroom really bad.
Okay.
She had to take a pee, and it was dark out, so she didn't think anything bad about it. So she literally just got out of the truck, went pee real quick, and got back in the truck. No, she did not wipe. I can vouch for that, which is kind of gross, but she's let that shit go.
Okay.
So if you follow that map,
Okay.
that's
Question. How long did it take you to
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay. Okay. All right.
So if you follow that map, Idaho 16, if you want to pull
Did
up
you,
the
sorry,
next map.
did you start driving back at this
No,
time?
she drove the whole way.
Okay. All right.
So that
Now,
little picture that's in the middle of that map, if you want to
right.
zoom in for people.
I can't exactly zoom in, unfortunately.
Okay, well,
But
that
I can,
picture that's on the map right there is a part that I took a picture of because Brandon said he needed an AC compressor. And if I'm mistaken, that's an AC compressor unit pump.
okay.
So I did take a picture of it while I was out, and I'm glad I did because that just timestamps again where
Yes.
we were.
So this is a timestamp from July 27th at 9:56 p.m.
Correct. Correct.
All right. And how far are you from home here?
They're about 25 minutes.
25 minutes. Okay. All right. So you're gonna, okay. Is this on, are we still on our way home here?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
road, literally, if you follow that Highway 16 or Idaho 16, you continue on that road. If you want to bring up Idaho 16 on the map, on like
Okay.
Google Maps real quick, I'll guide you guys to it.
Okay. All right. So,
Yep. Perfect. Just bring in Idaho 16 as a main. Just type in Idaho 16 for point A and then hit search.
there we go. Okay.
Just hit the little arrows, the reverse arrows.
Reverse arrows. Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Yep. And then delete the 2518 and just hit search. There you go. So if you want to zoom in on that, you'll see. So, yep.
Let me see. Let me zoom in more. What are we looking for?
Actually, do Idaho 16 to Payette, Idaho.
Payett.
Yep, right there.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay.
There you go. See?
Okay.
That's Idaho 16. You'll notice if you zoom in, you notice that's Idaho 16 from point A.
Right here?
No. Yep, that is Idaho 16, correct.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So Idaho 16, you follow point A.
We're gonna do this. Okay, right here.
Yep.
I highlighted it. Okay.
Yep. It'll bring you around a circle.
And this is where
Idaho
you
16 turns into Highway 52, correct. And that's the route we took.
All right. Yes. Okay. All right. What is the speed limit here? Do you know? Do you have an idea?
I don't know. We went slower than the speed limit because you don't go fast when you're towing a vehicle. I assume
Right.
like 50, 55.
Okay. And what is there stores along this way? Is it
No,
rural?
just a mountain. That's just a like a straight road that takes you all the way into Payette.
Okay.
It's a old highway.
Okay. All right. And everyone, just curious, is everyone's phones on at this time?
Yes.
Everyone's phones is on, all that. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Fat Girl. The penicillin, the right, that date means edit is progress.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
I don't know what that means, Fat
Not
Girl. I'm sorry.
either.
Thank you so
The
much.
right of date. Oh, pull up that picture again, the screenshot that I sent you. We'll see what
Okay.
she's talking about.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, the pencil icon. No. So that was literally screenshotted from Google Maps. That was a picture that was tracking from when that timestamp was taken. There was no way for me to edit it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's literally what pulled up on. If I had a way to screen share right now, I would totally screen share my map so you could see everything on my side. I don't know if that's possible, but I could. I wonder. No, there's no.
But you know what you can do? You can screen record it.
How do I? I
Maybe.
don't know how to do that either.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. Have you showed authorities this?
Oh yeah, they have it all.
I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And they have that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well. All right. Now, what is this photo? This is 956
That's the
as
part.
well.
Yep, that's the part. The same part that's in the middle of that picture. That's the AC compressor part.
Okay. Now, why are you taking these pictures at this time?
It was something that I already had the hood open to reattach the strap because I had to connect the strap on the inside of the hood to go
Adrian wants a
and
link. He says he's being set up. Yeah, I'll drop a link, but he's going to have to show his face. He'll have to show his face before he's coming up. Go ahead.
so that's why I took that picture. Was because the hood was already open and I wanted to snap a picture anyways while I was there because it was nighttime, you know what I mean? And the next day I was planning on making some phone calls to find that part for.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So I dropped a link. I don't think it's Adrian, but he'll have to show his face before he comes up. It's just that simple. All right. All right. Carry on with your story because it's not him. It's just a troll.
Got a lot of those, huh?
Yeah. A lot of them.
Bunch of fake people. So from there, we went home from Payette. We had the car behind us. Brandon was steering it. Sarah and I were in the truck. Pulled into the subdivision. There was a bunch of people walking around. I told Sarah, I was like, hey, let's stop. Let's find out
What
what's going
time is
on.
this? What time is this?
Sometime after that timestamp. So, like, if you do the math, like 20 minutes after that last timestamp right there.
So we're talking at 10, 15, 10, 20?
Correct.
Okay. So Michael goes missing at 6:40 to 7 p.m.
Correct.
So we are looking at we'll say we'll do 7 o'clock, 8, 9, 10. We're looking at 3.5 hours. Michael
Correct.
had been missing. Okay. All right. Michael's missing. We're going to say 3.5 to 4 hours. Okay. All right. So you're pulling up to you're going to your house.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So pulling into the neighborhood, I told Sarah to stop to find out what was going on. They at that point, police officer said that a little boy had gone missing. We were like, really? And they're like, what's his name? We asked what his name was. They said it was Michael Vaughan. And we're like, okay, we'll keep an eye out for him or whatever. So we got back to the house um, on Red Wing Street, and Sarah and
I
Brendan.
apologize. Guys, it's not Adrian. I've got Adrian's contact. It's not Adrian. So if it is Adrian, he can come up, but I assure you it's not Adrian. Either come up, show your face. You don't have to show your face on camera up here, but you have to show it behind the scenes where I can see it. And if not, then nobody even mention it anymore, please. Be done with it. Sorry, Stacey.
It's all good. So we get back to the house and pull around the Mallard Street. Took a left on Mallard Street because Mallard Street leads onto Red Wing.
Okay.
And it was just easiest to go that way because we had a vehicle behind us that we were towing. And so we pulled onto the side of the curb or the side of the road, which on our house, which is there's a curb.
Hey, Josh. This is Josh from the lab. He's my buddy.
What's up, Josh? How you doing?
Good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. So pull onto the house on Red Wing Street. There is literally, I mean, there's people walking around everywhere, of course. Sarah and Brendan said they were going to go look for the kid or for Michael. I said, okay, well, I'm going to stay here because I got to get this car unlatched from being in the street because, you know, you can't legally have a car taking up the whole length of the street pretty much.
Right.
So went and did that. Well, they went looking for Michael. They came back probably, I don't know, midnight, 12:30, said they had no luck on finding him.
Oh crap! What am I doing? It's way too close.
I was like, man, that was good. No.
Sorry.
It's okay. So that was the gist of that night.
Okay.
That
all right.
was really what happened.
This is Chris McDonough from the interview room. You've met Chris? Okay, you've talked to Chris. I want to play this little bit right here. And
no question in our research today,
bear with me.
We have numerous eyewitnesses they saw him that day traveling eastbound on 9th Street.
All right, were you traveling eastbound on 9th Street?
No, never been on 9th Street in my life.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if
I don't know if I'll get struck on that, so let me just wait a second. So you want to explain where you're at, you know, where they are? Okay, here's Chris. Maybe the birds will. Okay, this is driving east on 9th, right?
I don't know where 9th. I've never been on 9th Street. So I don't know. I'm not good with directions like northeast, south, and west.
Okay. We're at home here. Okay. There we go. Seems like a lovely neighborhood. Now, you guys live in two different
neighborhoods.
About what, 3 minutes apart?
Yeah, 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Do you know where they're at now? He's at now?
No idea. I don't even recognize that.
Okay.
As pure.
Let me see if... All right. There we go. This is what it's all about right here is Monkey Michael Vaughan. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Hey Josh.
Hey, how's it
How
going?
you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
How are you?
Living the dream, brother. Living the dream.
I hear you.
You have any questions you want to ask Josh?
Well, I kind of coming in halfway through here. Did you get to the interrogation part?
No. I've just been getting the story pretty much. That's about it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Of that day.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go live again tomorrow. How long are we planning on doing this one today for? Because I literally just had to go back to the shelter.
Okay.
So I'm literally trying to get settled in, and they're getting ready to serve dinner here probably in about 10 minutes.
Okay. We can. Yep.
So if that's okay, I'm obviously you see I'm committed. You know, I have
Sure,
nothing
sure.
to hide. I'm nothing not running. So
Okay.
I just don't want to make it seem bad to people. But like I said, I'm trying to get settled in. I've
Sure.
never been to this place before. So
Can you do another 15 minutes today?
yeah.
Okay. We can do it. We can set up another one tomorrow as well. Okay. All right. So question here.
Ouch.
Let me find this right here.
Okay.
This is an interesting thing that Stacy said, and I wanted your comment on it. If I can pull it up. I got so many screens pulled up. It's an okay. All right. And this is from forget what news. I'm sorry, I don't got the source on me right now, but it says according to documents, police forced entry into Wondra's home around 9:30 p.m. Friday, where they found Sarah Wondra in the living room. She was detained and read a copy of a search warrant. Quote, when I got to the portion that read murder, she said, quote, did you just say murder multiple times? End quote. A Fruitland police officer wrote in the affidavit, she also said, quote, I have never murdered anyone, end quote. Officials said Sarah Wondra maintained that she, quote, definitely did not kill that boy, end quote. That's her quote, not mine. And said, quote, the Most High God already told me who did it, end quote. She reportedly told police, quote, oh, wow, the Most High God just told me that Stacy was the one who killed him and buried him in the backyard, end quote, the neighbor's house. When she asked later to show police where the boy was buried, according to the affidavit, she told police of a spot near the entry of the residence and said Stacy had buried him in the backyard, quote, in the backyard of the shed, end quote. Police said at that point they began to digging a portion of the Wanderer's yard based upon information, quote, received from Stacy, who had not yet been arrested or charged by Monday afternoon. It wasn't clear when or why police had spoken with Stacy Wondra. Do you know why she would say something like that?
I'm appalled. I have no clue. She's literally like gone cuckoo. Um, I'm a very high believer in God, and I believe in God strongly. And God wouldn't tell a lie. You know what I
Sure.
mean? God is very, you know, he
Well,
died on the cross.
God may not tell a lie, but humans will. Let me ask you this
That's true.
question really
That's true.
fast.
Go ahead.
I guess my question really is,
Drink.
what is it that you're trying to accomplish? I mean, you are a suspect in the case,
Mhm.
whether you know,
Yes.
law enforcement has
Yeah.
said that. What is it like? So you're doing, not, I'm not saying you're doing rounds, but you're going on panels and stuff. Like, how is this going to help you? How is this going to help exonerate you?
It's not going to help exonerate me, but what it's doing is giving people my side of the story, because there's a lot of stories being told, but nobody's going to believe one person over the other. Reality is I'm still a suspect. And when it gets cleared by law enforcement, then people have a different view. But I want to personally tell people my side of the story, because I feel that's what I'm destined to do. Because I feel there's a lot of bullshit talk, there's a lot of crap talk about each and every one of us.
Mhm.
I'm just honestly going out there because I know what happened that night. I know that I know the whereabouts where I was. I know the whereabouts where Sarah and Brandon were. I don't see that. That's why I'm doing this, because there's a lot of questions regarding this.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't have anything to offer as to where Michael is.
I don't. You're right, because I don't.
So what I'm saying is, like, and the point that, I mean, that should take, 5 minutes to say.
He has taken a polygraph.
I did take a polygraph, and I was very well informed that I passed a polygraph by detectives, by the FBI, by my mom, who the detectives told. I was also told that Sarah and Brandon did not.
Have you told investigators anything that you haven't told the public? And if so,
No.
why?
Not at all.
So your story that you're telling everybody is the exact same that you
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
told in the interrogations.
Exactly.
And to stop an interrogation, what you did, you said that Michael was in the yard. How does that, did that stop an interrogate? Did that actually stop it?
I haven't been interrogated since. I haven't heard from law enforcement. I haven't talked to law enforcement. I haven't heard a peep from
And
anybody.
so they dug up that entire yard, as we all saw. We watched them do it,
Mhm.
based on just you saying that he was buried in the yard to stop it.
Correct.
So you tricked law enforcement into doing that?
I guess if you want to put it that way, yes.
Well, I mean, that's against the law, right?
I mean, do you think?
So you very well, you could and probably should be charged with that. But and I'm not here to like trip you up or hang you or be mean to you or anything. But how is it that you can trick dogs into hitting on human decomp? You can't do that. You can trick the police, but you're not tricking dogs.
No, not at all. But
And the dogs did hit, correct?
Apparently that's what
There
I'm
were
being
supposed
told,
to be
yeah.
multiple dogs.
So you told them that Michael was buried in the yard, and then, which you say is a lie, but then dogs hit on human decomp in that yard.
They hit before I told them that. That's why they questioned me.
So they hit before?
Correct.
So
But to prove my point that there was nothing back there, that's why I had them go dig it up. I knew there was nothing back there. I simply was very much so under pressure. I was being interrogated to the point of tears. I mean, for hours a day, for like 3 or 4 days. And honestly, I could not take it. It was killing me.
But I thought you said you gave them the tip.
I did give them the tip after they interrogated me.
If the dogs would have hit earlier, they would have just dug it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so obviously,
I mean, they wouldn't have known to search your house if
Right.
they hadn't had it, if you hadn't given them the tip.
That's what I'm saying. I told them.
You told them, and then the dogs hit, correct?
No.
Because the dog, if they hit on
dogs hit before, that's at least what I'm being told. That's what law enforcement told me. That's what detective
they would dig it up though. They would have dug it up if dogs would have hit. They didn't. They dug it up because you said Michael was buried in the yard.
Correct.
Okay, but
then they bring the dogs out there to confirm that, hey, there is human there is they're hitting out here. So then they dig it up.
All I know is I told them that fable. That's what I told them. I don't know anything further than that.
And you can
I know
see
that
how
they
that's
said
going to
the
be
dog-
hard for people to understand.
I do, absolutely.
Because I mean, that's a lot to tell. I mean, to get an interrogation to stop, all you would need to do is say, "Hey, I want to talk to my lawyer."
And I did that. My lawyer was present with me.
Okay. I've got the clip where JD Huff said we have multiple dogs hit and we've got all of this based on evidence, it says.
And testimony. I mean, and that's what I'm really wondering is because like I said, this is just what I think. I think that you plan on being indicted like everybody else that was up there on those poster boards, and you're trying to get ahead of this thing, kind of get your story out there, which I don't blame you, but it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. I know it is. But what you're going to do is so since there's 4 different people involved, what's going to end up happening is you guys are all going to start throwing each other under the bus. You're kind of Brandon was the first one. Then it's you because you're out of jail now. And Adrian eventually at trial or whatever is happening here. But what I'm saying is I don't understand why anybody would tell the police that there's a kid buried in the yard to stop an interrogation. What good does that do? Did that help you in some way?
The probable
because why you wouldn't tell him that unless he was actually buried in that yard.
He wasn't.
He wasn't when they went back, but he was at one point, according to the dogs.
But the problem is how is he not? I mean, how is he not found? I mean, he obviously was in that yard at some point. Investigators and dogs and everyone picked it up. Now, maybe you didn't have nothing to do with it, but somebody at that house did. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And who was it?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling my side, because I know for a fact, and per the posters and the pictures and everything that I posted that I sent to Justin, like I had nothing to do with this boy's disappearance. I had no knowledge of him being buried. If he was buried, that's news to me. And what's weird about it is our neighborhood, like they have cameras that like from Sky Cam or whatever it is, that you can see into the backyard. There was no dig holes. My dog Oakley, it was a digger, but she dug right when you walked out the front patio where the dead spot is, where the barbecue was.
Mm-hmm. Now,
but it was dead because the barbecue we had 2 barbecues at the time, and one was sitting on the grass.
One of the things. Oh, sorry, Justin.
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, one of the things that the dog would do is when they're sniffing in the yard, not only would they do that, at any point, if he was in the house at all, if Michael was in your house, the dogs would hit at the front porch. Did they?
No, not to my knowledge. No.
I think they hit beside the front porch.
Oh, okay. So that would indicate that he was near the house. So Michael, I mean, let's just be honest here. Michael was around that house.
Huh?
Michael was around that house. The dogs aren't going to hit just for no reason unless you buried somebody else back there.
I don't know. I have no information to give to that. Like I told everybody and anybody on here, if I knew something about this, because I am in no way okay with abducting a child, killing him, burying him. I would bury somebody else for doing that to somebody like that.
Now, the probable cause affidavit, it says that you spoke to them while you were not in custody about this.
I gave them permission.
Okay, maybe that's what
to search the house when Sarah got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get arrested. She got arrested April 13th of 2022. I got arrested May 6th of 2022.
Okay. All right.
Do you expect to be indicted for this?
I was going to ask
I mean,
If I am-
obviously you have an idea that you're probably, or else you wouldn't be doing this. I mean, let's just, I've seen
doing
this
this
before.
to tell my side of the story. And if I'm indicted, they've got a long road ahead of them with going to trial.
Well, I mean, not really. If you told him that he was in the yard, I mean, you're going to be charged with lying to investigators if that's what you did. And that's a serious crime too.
And if I am, I am. I own up to that.
This
I take
is in
accountability.
October. Prosecutors on the investigation over Michael says, quote, I expect to charge it.
I mean, they put 4 posters up of people, and I'm not saying that you don't have the right to defend yourself. You absolutely do. And if you have nothing to do with this, all that should come out eventually. But I don't know. I'm not really sure why. I just don't. I can't get past like how you would just say, hey, yeah, he's in the yard.
I literally made that up.
And then dogs literally hit on human decomposition.
Yeah, that's the problem is if you made it up and he was actually in the backyard I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Stacy?
I feel you, and I get that. But
that's like that's a hell of a coincidence.
I gave them a direction. Okay, this is where I know that it was a lie, because that dog may have hit in the backyard, but the direction and area that I pointed to him, the dogs did not hit around at that house in the backyard. I told them he was literally buried directly across from the patio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who do you think did this?
I don't know.
I know
Adrian has, according to detectives and what I've been told by them, that Adrian has a huge history of human trafficking. So I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh.
But the matter of the fact is when and how he would get away with doing something like that, because I have no knowledge of any of this.
Okay. All right. Let me just play this. And this was what they said.
Everybody, I just wanted to start out by saying thank you.
Let me.
And it remains very active and an ongoing investigation. You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop. During the course of this investigation to date, we received credible information that the remains of Michael Vaughan could be found in the backyard at 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland.
Can you pause that for a second?
As a result, the Fruitland Police Department obtained a search.
Why it says that they received credible information. So that's based on your tip alone. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was just checking.
Okay.
Search warrant for the residents along with the front and backyards. That search warrant was served on November 11th. It was a Friday. We served that late in the evening. Upon entry, officers encountered Sarah Wondra, one of the known occupants of the home, and Sarah was subsequently arrested based on probable cause that she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report that death to law enforcement.
What would the probable cause be?
Him.
The following day, the Fruitland Police Department, joined by the Idaho State Police, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, the Fruitland Fire Department, and the Fruitland Public Works Department, began a very methodical excavation of the backyard of the Wondra's home. During that excavation process, the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, Mountain States detection dogs deployed multiple certified human remains detection dogs on the property.
Listen to this.
All of them alerting to the presence of human remains.
All of them.
So that's where the problem,
right?
You know, that's where the story really starts to fall apart for you. Is you're saying that I made this up, but then you have multiple dogs. Every dog that was there hit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hitting. I mean, you can bring them to my backyard right now. I can make up a lie. They're not going to hit, and they're not going to dig up my yard. I mean, you understand that.
Penetrating radar was also used.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's it. I was just wondering.
I just want to finish this little bit.
And deployed, detecting anomalies in the backyard. We completed the excavation
And that's where something has been dug and, you know, the ground isn't as firm.
of the entire
Yeah.
backyard and removed over 250 yards of dirt. Prior to backfilling the yard, the dirt was meticulously sifted for any potential human remains. We did not find Michael's remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that
Based on evidence.
his remains were buried and later moved from the property. As of today, the whereabouts of his remains are unknown. However, the investigation is active, fluid, and ongoing.
You know, I mean,
Sarah wanted a baby, right?
she wanted a baby.
Did she
yes.
take Michael?
I have no idea.
I mean, she's your wife. You would have some
Sarah
idea
was
if the
also
boy was.
very deceitful and hid everything from me. She had the gun she held Tanner Butler up at gunpoint with.
Mhm.
I had no idea or any knowledge about the gun that she had. Because Randy Strickland, who was staying with us, asked her to not tell me about it because I was a felon.
Mhm. Is that
And
what
he
you got in
trusted her
trouble
more
for?
than me. Huh?
Is
I
that
got
what
in trouble for having my own gun.
Right. Well, you know, the
Were
main
you
thing
offered
that-
a deal, like a cooperation deal?
They offered this before they dug the yard, and they said that they would give me a 15 plus 7, but in the condition that I would tell them where the body is. And I said, I don't know where the body is.
Currently, or you did in the past?
I have never known where the body is.
Somebody in the chat just said that Adrian was left with a duffel bag. You know anything about that?
No, never even knew that he had a duffel bag with him. He had a backpack.
So you unequivocally, absolutely never at any point in your life have seen Michael Vaughan. Never.
I don't even know who this kid was, and that's deep down, honest to God, with everything in my heart. I have no idea. I've never seen this kid. I didn't even know he existed. I didn't know who Tyler and Brandy were.
Mhm.
Like, honestly, I've never seen that kid in my day of my life.
Okay, so Brandon had a duffel bag. Excuse me. What did Brandon have? What was Brandon doing with the duffel bag?
He had his clothes in it. Like, I watched him when we went to go tow the car. I watched him have an empty duffel bag. It was empty. And I watched him fill it with all of his clothes that he had in our house.
Was it your duffel bag?
No, it was his.
So you're not missing a duffel bag.
Not at all.
What about underneath the house?
There
The
was
crawl
a crawl
space.
space, but that crawl space literally it was in the walk-in closet from our bathroom
Right.
that literally had an empty Savage Arms old box from an old 17 that I had.
Okay.
Did a dog hit at Brandon's house?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't confirm that because I've been told things through lives, like doing YouTube lives, but I've never heard anything from the police. No.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any further questions, like Eve that does the same thing you guys do, has literally covered this whole case extensively, like thoroughly.
Mhm.
And she just wanted me to point out to you guys, like, if you have questions, like skeptibilities or whatever, to literally go to her. Like, she has the police reports, she has everything.
I just don't understand why you would lie to the feds about saying that there's a body in the backyard.
You
And
have
then,
to understand it coming from my point of view and my mental disability that I suffer with, like, not as an excuse, but
What's your mental
legit.
disability?
I have fetal alcohol syndrome. I have Asperger's. I have autism, which is Asperger's. I have bipolar, intermittent explosive disorder. Now, mind you, 98% of those I've overcome being in group homes my whole life. But people that have fetal alcohol syndrome, it is very common that people get put in very pressured situations
and
and that instant reaction just to give something to get them to back off.
and you're right. But the problem is what you told them is what they have evidence that there was someone in the backyard.
Okay, but they did not specify where the dogs hit. They said they hit in the backyard. I told them where it made up again, where he was buried, which was directly across when you walk out the back patio door. It was directly straight across, right in the middle of the fence, in the middle of the yard. They didn't specify where he was hit. They said that they dug by the shed, and that the dogs had hit around the shed area. That's what I've been told. I know, and if you read their report, or you probably can pull it up, she literally, I don't know if it's accessible or not, but I know for a fact that when I gave them that location, they literally, I watched it on video when they were digging at that spot. Detective was on the phone with me. They dug nothing up. The dogs did not hit in that spot. I watched them.
But you said that he was in the yard.
I said he was in that direct spot, but he was never there. Clearly,
he was in that yard somewhere at one point.
Somewhere, probably. I don't know. I have nothing. I don't have knowledge of it.
Well,
Like
I mean,
said,
you didn't pull that out of thin air. Maybe
Yes, I
Adrian
did.
told you. Maybe
Yes, I
Sarah
did.
told you. Maybe Brandon
No.
told you.
But this is exactly why it's hard for me to do these lies, because people are gonna try to judge me and say that I literally didn't. I had something to do with it. My question to you is why, when they did a polygraph test and I answered every question they asked me about Michael's disappearance, why on earth would I pass that polygraph?
Well,
you don't just get a false positive on a polygraph.
Well, but the thing is, I'm going to throw something back at you after if you are taking heavy medications and
haven't taken any medication,
and you have these
haven't taken medication for years.
Well, do you have proof that you passed a polygraph?
You can probably get it in the affidavit somewhere.
I mean, you can't use
I
it
can
in a
tell
court of
you
law
that
anyway.
three people talked to me about my polygraph, including the guy that did the polygraph in the Meridian Police Department, the Highway Patrol. The guy that did the polygraph told me, he asked, how do you feel you did? And I said, I was honest about everything. He goes, you're right, you did. And then later on, I talked to the detectives. They also verified. Scott Crimmon was also at the Meridian Highway Patrol during my testing. He also said that I passed my polygraph.
Did Sarah pass?
No. According to what I'm being told, no. I don't have confirmation. I'm hearing that from my mom and what the detectives told my mom, because Sarah was married to me.
So here's a common occurrence in these kinds of cases is that people want to give information, but they don't want to implicate themselves. They want to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Sarah not passing, but you passing. 3 other people may know what have happened, but I don't know what happened. And then you see what I'm saying, and you see where I'm going with it. I'm not trying to be rude and trip you up here. I'm just saying you pulling that out of thin air is almost impossible.
And it's not impossible for me.
I said almost impossible.
Okay, and I believe that. Okay, almost impossible, yeah. But for me, it wasn't impossible. If you literally sat there, you would see how literally, like, how on the verge of tears I was because of being interrogated so hard and so rough. And I told them the same exact thing the very first 4 interviews before the last one, when I told them about where he was in the backyard. I told them the same exact thing that I've told everybody else. I have never met this kid a day in my life. I've never seen him. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him disappearing, any of that.
Do you know what day they gave you the polygraph on?
What, David?
Do you know what day they gave you the polygraph?
It was May 18th, I believe. It was literally the day that I got my case dropped for felon in possession out of state when the feds picked it up.
Okay, so while you so you're basically lying to them while you're on the phone with them while they're digging up the backyard.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. Now, see, the thing about the day is, like, you're saying that you and Sarah and Brandon went to
Cuna.
Cuna. Now, the thing with Brandon's story, which he's saying that him and Stacy got home and they went to the gas station.
Him and Sarah?
Or Sarah, sorry, him and Sarah
No.
went
They
went to
never
the
went to
gas
the
station at
station.
7:00,
No.
and it's like somebody's lying here. Somebody's lying, and it's
They never went to the gas station. We left in our truck to go tow his car upon his request.
Mhm.
I have
Why did
no
you stop? Why
reason
did you
to
stop
lie.
at 8th in Arizona again? I'm just curious about
To
that.
put
Why-
power steering fluid in the truck. And
And
it
what time
wasn't
was that?
directly on Arizona Street. It was probably about 50, 60, maybe 70 feet, 80, maybe 100 feet behind Arizona, like before Arizona Street. Literally right after you turn left out of our subdivision to go on 8th Street is where we pulled off.
Was Brandon with you?
Yes.
And so when you did that, just about the time that Michael goes missing, you understand that, right? Just kind of coincidental too.
I don't know what else to tell you guys. I've told everything. I've told everything as
Look, I've asked everything that I need, and I know some people are saying, "Oh, Josh, you're being mean." I don't think I am. I'm just asking questions. And I'll let you finish up, Justin.
No, I don't think you're being mean. And I mean, I think we're trying to find out what's going on here, and that's the thing. There's 4 different people saying 4 different things.
Yeah.
What time were you on 8th, and with the power steering fluid?
I don't have an exact time. Like I said, it's probably.
But the problem is, like, why do you need to stop right then and put power steering fluid in?
Because when Sarah made the left turn, the whining on the truck, when you have low on power steering fluid and your power steering is low on fluid, it will cause an extensive whine. And it literally sprays everywhere.
Brandon
So we
is supposed to
literally
be in
knew
prep.
we were making the trip.
Mm-hmm.
So we had stopped literally just for the sole purpose of putting power steering fluid in. I had got out in the passenger side of the truck. Sarah popped the hood. I opened the hood, opened power steering reservoir, poured power steering fluid in, closed the cap on the power steering fluid, walked back around to the passenger side truck, and we left.
Are you guys on CCTV anywhere?
Yeah, they have that picture as well. They have that.
They have what?
They have the picture of us stopping on 8th Street. They have the video. It was CCTV. That was also recorded. They showed that to me.
But has anybody known that? Is this the first time you're telling that?
Nobody's asked me about it, but I told them everything.
Oh, I didn't. I was just wondering if you were on CCTV at all that day, but they have you on CCTV on 8th in Arizona.
Yes, correct.
With Brandon in the car.
Correct. And Sarah.
Oof. I mean,
And
that's a major problem, right?
That day. Hold on. You saw a boy that day as well, didn't you? You said
Yes,
you saw a boy.
further down 8th Street on the very right-hand side in somebody's yard. And he didn't look anything like Michael at any point in time.
Okay.
We didn't ever even approach the kid.
Did the boy you saw have a yellow shirt on?
It was a bright shirt, correct. From what I remember. It was shorts and a bright shirt. And he was a lot taller than the 5-year-old boy. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
So who put the power steering fluid in?
I did.
So you're on video getting out of the truck.
Correct.
And is Stacy with you at this time? I mean, Sarah?
Sarah? Yeah, she's driving the truck. She was in the driver's seat the whole time. Brandon was in the back seat the whole time. I was the only one to get out of the truck as it's on video and recording, and the video shows me putting power steering fluid in the truck.
They showed it to you?
Yes.
Okay. When is the next time you put power steering fluid in that day?
I didn't have to put it until the next day.
Okay.
I usually had to fill up the truck once a day with power steering fluid.
Was that the only place that you're on CCTV?
No, I was on CCTV at the splash pad.
Yes, he was at the splash pad at. I've got
Is
so
it
many
was
notes
that
here.
is that common? Was that common? I'm sorry, I didn't know if that's common knowledge or not.
No,
He's get-
that's proof. I saw proof from the detectives. They showed me the video.
You knew that, Justin? You knew that he was on video?
Yep, he's on video there at the splash pad, getting out of his truck. He says
Car.
rather, getting his snuff.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, I heard that. So what happened was that you dropped dropped
Correct.
your chew, you got out, you
Yep.
got it at the splash pad. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you answering my questions. I know they come off fast, and that's just how I think and talk. So
It's okay, man. Like I said, I'm just here literally to tell my side of things. Because if there's
Sure.
one person that's going to tell the truth, it's me. I remember verbatim. I have timestamps that were pulled up on the maps that Justin can show you if you want to see them,
I'll
or I
send
can
it to you,
send them
John.
to you directly.
But I
Like,
would
I
like those.
have-
I would like a screen recording of that, just so that little.
I don't know how to screen record on my phone. I have no idea how to do that. 100% honest. I just
Oh.
got this phone, so
I'll teach you.
So did you guys go to Brandon's house that day?
correct.
And
At
then
night.
so here's another problem. If the dogs hit in the yard at your house, you guys are headed over to Brandon's, and the
Right.
dogs hit there too. I mean, obviously there's a body that's being transported back and forth, and they're assuming that it's Michael. That's why you guys are suspects, right?
So to be, yes.
Yes.
But like I said, have
Is it possible that he was they covered this up with you being in the truck, that Michael was with them
Not
and
at
you
all.
didn't know about it?
Not at all, because the only thing that got put in the truck, we all walked out together. The only thing that Brandon had in his hand was a duffel bag full of his clothes. I watched him fill his duffel bag up with clothes. It was empty, keep in mind. Watched him fill the duffel bag up, watched him put it in the truck. We all walked out together. The only thing that Sarah had in her hand was her purse.
Yeah.
And a grocery bag that had 2 or 3 Diet Pepsis in it.
Was Sarah? She was seen carrying a kid. Was she ever?
No.
And so
The only
that's what
kid-
you told police, though? That's
Yes.
you're telling the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
There's nothing that I have said on my lives that I have not told the detectives, just so everybody's aware.
Yeah, and I just
Thank
don't
you,
like.
Victor.
I don't know how. Look, I don't care what you do. You can talk, do whatever you want. But I mean, he filled. So the duffel bag was filled up with clothes. He had that many clothes.
He literally had a stack of clothes, a pile of clothes. And it wasn't a huge duffel bag, keep in mind. It was literally a medium duffel bag.
It's
with,
all it
like,
takes is a medium duffel bag, though. To be honest with you, I mean, it's. I used to work in a funeral home, so I know what it.
I know,
how
and
small.
I'm telling you, I'm verifying on Brandon's behalf. I was a witness to him filling up his duffel bag when it was completely empty the whole time I was in the living room when he was doing this.
Yeah.
He didn't have the bedroom that he was staying in. He slept in the living room on the couch all the time. I have
Well, okay.
pictures of him sleeping on the couch with my dog.
Did dogs ever hit on that truck?
No, not at all.
How did they search that truck,
Yes.
or did you
Sure.
sell that truck?
Do they still have your? Do they still have
Wait a
your
minute. Wait,
vehicle?
Justin. Did you
truck-
sell the
that-
truck?
No, the truck was repoed.
How long after Michael went missing?
It was July, I don't know, it was like August 2nd or something like that. August 3rd, but it was repoed, and the detectives went and picked up the truck for evidence.
Okay.
How did it make Stacy feel to find out his lie was proven true when law enforcement started excavating?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I regret lying to him, but at the same point,
I mean,
I don't have any information for this little boy. I want to. I
Mhm.
want to get whoever it is that did this in trouble. I want this little boy to come home to his mother and dad, mom and dad. 1,000,000%, time and time over.
oh, he's going
There's
to.
not a day that goes by that I don't get up in tears. I don't get up wishing that this little boy would be found for his family. Like,
You
I
didn't have
am
a wash
heart.
machine at your house,
We had a washing machine at our house, correct?
so why did you go to his mom's house?
Brandon just said that he needed to go to his house anyways to get new clothes.
But that
So
doesn't
he
make
was just
sense.
going to do his. You're right, it doesn't, but that's what Brandon said.
So what it sounds like, just personally to me, is if you're putting the pieces together and he's got a duffel bag, dogs hit at your house, dogs hit at his house. It sounds like he used that duffel bag for something else.
I'm personally telling you and everybody on here, like I said just a couple minutes ago, I watched him put everything from an empty duffel bag, like the duffel bag was empty. There was nothing in it at the start. Nothing. I
Oh, so
watched him look-
he didn't take any clothes out of there?
N-
There wasn't a pile of clothes at the house, or he didn't swap stuff
No,
out?
that's what I'm
that's
saying. No, you're just missing what I'm saying. Yes. When
Okay.
he first came staying with us, he emptied the duffel bag. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When he loaded the duffel bag, it was again empty. There was nothing.
Where would he
in it
put his Where did he put
absolutely.
his clothes? You have a dresser at
On
your
the
house?
side of the couch. On the side of the couch.
Instead of leaving them in the bag.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, he must have been in jail way too long.
He's done a few jail times. Correct.
So he took clothes from your house that you had a perfectly good washer and dryer from and drove it 30 minutes away to use his mom's washer.
Correct. Why? I don't know. But
I-
we
okay.
also were at a point with Brandon where we were just like, want to argue with him. Brandon was unreasonable a lot with us.
Yeah.
He owed us so much fucking money. I mean, for everything we've helped him pay his phone bill multiple times, helped him with his car insurance when he had his car up and running.
And did law enforcement, do they have this bag?
I don't know. I, again, have not talked to the detective since November of 2022.
Has anybody threatened you that's a part of this?
I mean, I received multiple things on Messenger, but I don't even respond to them.
Well, I'm
I
talking
mean-
about from like Adrian or Brandon.
Oh, no, I
or
don't. I haven't
Sarah.
talked to Adrian. I haven't heard from Brandon. I haven't heard. Sarah called me a couple times trying to get me to stay with her. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Do you suspect her?
I have never seen, I would never think that Sarah would have something to do or do something like that. No.
Well, that's a lot of people though that
Yeah, I mean, but it's his wife. I mean, I get that. I get, no, you don't want that. But so
Trust me.
does
I
she wear
have
the pants?
I have no reason to throw Sarah. I have no reason not to throw Sarah under the bus. I would throw her
Well,
under the
yeah,
bus
you
for
kind of
her-
do. You kind
this
of
is
do
your
because
life.
if you have any knowledge at all, it's
Oh, no,
it's
no,
accessory
that's
after
what I'm
the
saying.
fact.
If I had any knowledge at all, I would have been the first person with no hesitation to
Gotcha.
let law enforcement know about any information I knew about him.
Right.
Like I told that in every video, I told the cops that. I said, look, any information, if I had any knowledge, forehand knowledge, I would have been the first to tell you guys. Anything I knew. I was honest with them, just like I'm being honest here. I told them the same exact thing that I'm telling everybody on my lives. There's nothing, not one thing that has changed.
Yeah, and sometimes, after you tell a story so many times, and it has been a while, I don't know if there are discrepancies or not. I've seen a couple of them, but I do know that there are a couple discrepancies. But what you've told here, I mean, seems like you're kind of walking us through what happened, but you're
Exactly.
leaving out the part
right.
of, well, look, there was obviously something, at least with those two going on. Brandon and your wife, if she agreed to drive him to his mother or to his mother's house to do laundry for God knows what reason. Why he's taking his clothes out of his duffel bag, setting them next to the couch. Where, like, when he walked in to stay with you guys, where did he set? He brought that duffel bag with him.
Hold on a minute. He said in his interview, he said that he was just spending the night with you.
No, Brandon stayed with us on multiple nights.
Well, in his
he stayed with us for months.
In his interview, he said he had just spent the night with you guys that night.
No, he is completely wrong. That's one of the reasons he owes us so much money. He's in debt with us over $1,000. He agreed to pay us rent.
He's
for
called,
staying with us.
He said that, and this is his words, Stacey, it's not mine, but he said you were a nice guy, but you were a serial liar, is what he said. That's his words.
No. My point is this. I'm the one that's provided timestamps of that night in question. Where's Brandon's timestamps? He's very capable of finding some way or somehow to log into his old emails to find pictures of videos that were timestamped that night.
But if you're saying he was with you the entire time,
correct.
You're telling them that there's a child's remains in the backyard, but you say you're lying, and then there is child's remains in the backyard, and then you say there's a duffel bag, a medium-sized duffel bag, and he's washing clothes that you have a perfectly good washer machine at the house, and then you said he didn't bring the duffel bag home back that night.
He did bring it back home. I said that.
No.
Yes, I did. I said he took his duffel bag, put his clothes in the washer, and he got a new change of clothes. I said that.
So he put them back in the bag wet.
No, he got a new set of his clothes. He has like a fucking wardrobe.
Right.
He got new clothes. He left the old clothes in the washer and went back the next day with Sarah to his house to go put his clothes in the dryer. He brought his duffel bag back home with new clothes in it.
So what time did he go back the next day with Sarah?
I would say mid-morning.
Mid-morning. Okay. Do you know how long he was there?
I mean, they came back within a couple hours.
And where was Adrian?
He had came back to the house early that morning. He was at the house that morning.
Okay. And nobody knows where the duffel bag is?
Apparently it's at Brandon's house. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I haven't talked to the detectives since my interview with them in November. Have had no police contact, have nobody contact me from the police department, nothing. That's honest. I don't have communication with cops.
Do you know if they checked, I'm sure that they did, they checked Brandon's mom and dad's washing machine?
Yeah. I'm sure they did. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they did the whole house search. And my question is, do they really think there was a body in Brandon's backyard? If the dogs hit, why the fuck aren't they tearing up her backyard? Makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. All this stuff that's being said about abracadabra dogs hitting on Brandon's backyard and my yard, maybe they said in my yard, but why would they dig up my yard and say that the cadabra dog's hitting his yard, but not dig up his yard?
Stacey, you told him that there was a body.
Correct, I did, which was a lie. But if they so-called said, this is my point I'm trying to make, if they said that there was cadabra dogs hit in the backyard of his mom's house, why aren't they digging up the backyard at his mom's house? That's, again, speculation. There's no documentation from the police, to my knowledge, saying that the cadabra dogs hit on his backyard. I haven't seen anything, nor have I heard anything other than hearing it from the media, from what's being said from on YouTube videos and talking to Brooks. Again, that is, to my knowledge, is just speculation. Because until I see concrete evidence that the cadaver dogs hit on his backyard, because I'm telling you, if they hit on his backyard, it would have dug his backyard up too.
Well, I don't know if
That's
they hit on
my-
his backyard. They
They
didn't
said
somebody say
that
crawl space,
no, the crawl space was at our house.
That was their
Uh-huh.
house.
and the dog hit there too.
No, the dog never hit on the crawl space. Dog
Okay.
never hit inside the house.
Gotcha.
That's just my point I'm trying to make. Like, there's lots of speculation, and there's apparently the police have evidence. I don't know what's true. I know that I had no part of this. I know that I don't even know who this kid is. I've never heard of this kid a day in my life.
His name's Michael.
I
Michael
know
Vaughan.
his name now, but I'm saying I don't know this person from Adam. I've never heard of this kid. When he went missing, I was like, who the fuck is he?
His
Other
name's
than,
Michael.
yeah, I know. Who the fuck is Michael? Like, I know that now, but I didn't know it. I lived in the neighborhood for 2 years, never heard a peep about Tyler and Brandy or their kids. I didn't even know her.
Yeah.
Never did a tax for them, never took their kids anywhere, and never even, I was oblivious, like 100%.
I've heard rumors, and these are just rumors, that you may or may not have said, but leaning more towards may, that you saw Sarah with Michael.
No, not at all.
Never.
That's not coming from me, and I heard that too, but I heard it from a friend who follows the YouTube channels.
Oh, so you've heard the rumor?
I've heard the rumor too, and that's not true at all. I've never once. The only child that Sarah and I have ever babysat was my tattoo artist Ian Sturgeon's daughter when she came to visit from Wyoming. And Ian asked us to babysit her and she's 11, but she liked to come and hang out at our house because Sarah would do crochet things with her, would teach her how to crochet, would teach her how to, would bake with her, bake cakes with her and stuff like that. So she enjoyed hanging out, and I enjoyed her company. Her name was Lexi.
Why would can you just tell me about that? Why would that be a rumor? Why would somebody
I don't know. I have no answer to that. That makes no sense at all because Sarah has never, to my knowledge, I mean, when Sarah and I have been together, we were like Bonnie, like not Bonnie and Clyde, but we were like together 98% of the time.
And didn't you have Michael's poster on your fridge?
Yes.
She had Michael's poster on the fridge.
But it's your house too, so you never
Correct.
saw that photo?
Correct, but that flyer was put up when it was given to us when they were passing them out.
Who gave it to you?
I don't remember. Somebody passing out flyers. I just know it was literally given to us. I had Michael's profile picture, his picture that was on that post profile picture on Facebook for the longest time, and I've already cleared that up with law enforcement. That it was literally to show support of the missing boy Michael. Like everybody was doing. Everybody had a profile pic of Michael that lived around that neighborhood or that close friends, or they had the blue light thing going.
Right,
like literally, we didn't do the blue light thing, but we supported him by posting his picture on my Facebook page and her doing YouTube or TikTok videos with his profile, that missing boy picture in the background of the TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, after you get home from your trips and running and all that, what did you guys do before you guys left to do the towing?
We just stayed on the like I said, we're at home. I think Sarah made a quick bite to eat, and we literally just chilled until we left. We made a plan. We got ready to go do the tow. I got the tow strap. Brandon watched Brandon pack his bag full of clothes, and we left.
Okay.
and are on CCTV 2 different times.
Correct.
Around the same time people were
Correct.
looking for Michael.
Correct.
The interesting thing is Brandon says at 7 o'clock, him and Sarah were at the gas station.
No. Look at the timestamps that I sent you.
Did they get milk at any time that day?
No.
So he's flat out lying.
You say milk?
Absolutely no.
Milk.
Yes.
I saw you drinking milk the other year. Are you a milk drinker?
I love drinking milk.
Is it an Idaho thing?
No, it's just a me thing. I would go through a gallon of milk in about 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
I love milk, dude. It's my favorite fucking thing to drink in the world.
Milk.
I don't like soda. I like tea, but I'll choose milk over tea any day.
Really? Wow.
Like I piss people off because I'll go to their house and they'll have a gallon of milk, like a full gallon,
Yeah.
and they'll go check their fridge like the next day or whatever, and it's gone. I can't tell you how many times I pissed off my tattoo artist.
You drank his milk?
Oh yeah, he was pissed. I ended up having to send him money to replace it because he's like, dude, he drank my whole gallon of milk. I'm like, sorry, dude, I just love milk.
Well,
but
I like milk too, but not that much.
Oh, no, I love milk. I drink milk all day, any day if I could. Not even joking.
He previously said the duffel bag was empty. Now he said it's packed with clothes.
Yes, it was empty when he brought it to the couch and put all of his dirty clothes inside the duffel bag. Correct. That's to clarify, but yeah, that's what it was. It was empty at the start. He brought his duffel bag onto the couch and loaded all of his dirty clothes into it.
Did Brandon stay with you that night?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he stay with you the next night?
Yes. He lived with us pretty much. We pretty much took care of him, babysat him in a sense, if you mind.
But didn't he have a house?
He wasn't allowed to stay at his house without his mom there. His mom was in Arizona, I believe, at the time.
So he's there that night. So during that day, you were never away from Sarah or Brandon or Adrian, for that matter, long enough for them to possibly
not at all
take Michael?
Not at all.
So you guys were all together that day?
Yes. Adrian stayed overnight in Boise or Nampa when they took him to go see his kid on the 27th.
And you say that he has been in, did you say he's been in trouble for sex trafficking?
Human trafficking, correct.
He's been charged with that before?
Yes. I learned that from the detectives Anita and Scott Kremen.
I mean, that's just another layer that just tells you, I mean, that's.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know his history at all. I had to learn that from the detectives, and I didn't learn that until after I got incarcerated, just to clarify. This is not something that I knew beforehand at all. They came and told me about him. I learned that Dorothy was a sex offender who's Carson's ex-wife.
So Sarah did not have Michael Vaughan?
No.
Never once?
Not at all. Never during that day. Not at all. Not at all. And and if I knew something, like I said, I would not cover for her. I don't give a fuck if she's my wife or not.
Mm-hmm.
At no point in time would I ever be okay with finding knowledge about this or knowing anything about an abduction or somebody taking a child, ever.
So I just thought of something. What time did you guys leave? You said?
I think it was 6 or 6:30.
And you guys didn't get back till 10:20?
Correct. Keep in mind, the reason it took so long is because we had to take the back roads. Keep in mind, we also snapped the tow strap, so I had to get out.
Why did you have to take the back roads?
Because you can't drive on the interstate with a tow strap and a car being towed behind a car. You just don't do that.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm just asking. I have no clue.
No, that's exactly why I chose
I
toll
understand
strap to take
that
the
part,
back road.
Huh. So what is the convenience of taking the back roads because of that, and how much longer does that
Because
add?
I mean, you
Uh,
can't with towing. You can't go like
time.
70 miles an hour and pull something. You gotta
Exactly. You can
constantly.
only go 35, 40 miles an hour at
I
top.
understand that part, but
On a tow truck?
No, it wasn't a tow truck. We literally
Don't people tow trailers all the time?
there was no, yeah.
they did
We
it with
weren't
like a
on a
rope.
trailer. We literally were on a tow strap,
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
a strap
I got
that was connected directly to his vehicle to the back of the truck.
Gotcha. Okay. A tow strap. I understand now.
They didn't get home till 10:20.
Ouch. Oh my God.
We have Adrian at 4:47.
Oh, look, they're serving dinner. Ouch.
All right, man. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate you answering. Best of luck to you, man. Thank you for
Thank
answering
you.
I
my
appreciate
questions.
you guys. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut it off. You know,
It's all
I
right.
don't have a problem answering questions. Like I said, I'm trying to be upfront with everybody and give my side of the story because I want people to understand. Like, and that's why I provided the timestamps for everything.
Trust
Because
me.
I know that those are definitely going to help people understand the
I
whereabouts that night.
I appreciate you
Yeah.
doing that. I'm gonna look up some stuff tonight, and we'll talk again sometimes tomorrow, Stacy.
Absolutely.
All right, enjoy your dinner.
Hey, thank you. Hey, and will you do that for me, Justin?
Yeah, I got you. No
All
problem.
right, thanks, buddy. I appreciate
you.
you guys. Have a good night, y'all.
All right, take
Take
care.
care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you, Josh, for coming.
I told you no.
No, I told
told
you
you don't.
yes.
I told you I don't want to do it.
No,
You
I
made
told
me. You made
yes.
me do it.
No, tomorrow we got tomorrow too.
We?
We.
I don't know. He ain't coming back if I'm here. I'll tell you that.
You will.
You think so?
Yeah.
Alright.
There's just a lot of shit that doesn't make sense here, and I mean, I have been sitting here all day. I've got notes out my ass. I can't even. So it's just craziness. Just craziness. You know,
Wow.
it's I have a problem with, saying that there's a body in the backyard and you say you're lying, but then there was a body in the backyard.
Yeah, well, and it's funny too because I've just a few people that they're in the chat. They're like, "Oh, you're being rude and you're this or that."
Well,
Look, the questions are the questions. Not one question that I asked was out of line. And look, I don't know the guy. We're not friendly. We're not friends. I don't have any reason to do anything except ask him questions. That's what he wants. That's what he wants us to do, is to ask him questions. So we did. So that's what I did.
That's what an interview is. I mean, if we're supposed to sit here and say, rainbows and cotton candy, sorry.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about milk.
Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. That's milk. That a gallon of milk's rough. Too harsh. Too harsh. I'll tell you what's too harsh. A little kid being missing and people lying about it.
Yes.
I don't want to hear that horse shit. I really don't.
What's too
like this
harsh?
is why I haven't even wanted to do a show about it, because it pisses me off so much. Like
I know.
it just drives me nuts. And people go, "Oh, you're too harsh." Whatever, dude. If it was your son, would it be too harsh? I bet it wouldn't be. I bet you'd be cheering me on.
You would be, yes. Everybody.
You'd want me to ask him questions.
Yes. Listen, I mean, there's a reason there's 4 suspects here at this house, and there's Michael was in that backyard, y'all, and you're too harsh. Screw that.
Too harsh.
Screw that.
Yeah, I was telling Linda yesterday. I said that the United States justice system is beautiful. It works so well for criminals, and for victims it sucks. So
yeah. I mean, you're right. It's
drives me nuts.
Nobody has more rights than they do in America. I'll tell you that, because it doesn't work that way in the rest of the world.
There's just, I mean, making up that Michael was in the yard. I mean, he's got to know that people aren't going to believe that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go through, because the problem is Brandon, he's saying something completely different.
Of course, they're all lying.
Completely different. And something's off here.
I agree. All right, man. I thank you for having me up.
Thank you, Josh.
All right,
We'll talk
later.
later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. We're going to hopefully finish this tomorrow. We'll be live. I talked to Josh earlier and I'm glad he came up. So, yeah, I mean, let's say for instance, if, I was at my house and I went to jail and I said, there's a body in the backyard, and there's not, I know for a fact there's not a body in my backyard, right? And there was a body in my backyard, and it's the person that they're looking for, remains based up on evidence. And then you go tow a truck, and then they hit at that place where the truck is, at that house, and you're doing laundry with a duffel bag. Something's wrong. Sorry, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Thank you all for being here. Good night. God bless. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you later. Thank you.